Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I am your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield, and this is a LOTRO guide, my friends. And today, I want to tell you why, and it's so important to know how to use the little switching tab on your traits. I already have a video talking about traits, but this is just a real quick guide video for you today, my friends. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment on what other guides you would like. I am happy to make. Don't forget to look through the guide playlist because there's a lot already on there, but I always am happy. I don't care how simple or how complicated it is. Please leave the comment. I will do my best to try to make you guys a guide. All right. So this one again is about your trait tree thing. So when we bring up this trait panel, you can usually get it. Sometimes, I believe, I'm trying to remember if you have 2 or 1 to start with. I do highly recommend if you want to get one, you can click this little thing and actually purchase it. To purchase another one with 100 whatever mithril coins or whatever you have. It is a little pricey, but it is forever and it does work on multiple characters, okay? So from what I found, it is on multiple characters. Yes, it is. I'm trying to remember. I didn't buy it on multiple characters, but I do have 2 on every single character. So pretty much what it allows you to do is switch very quickly between 2 different setups of traits. Why is this convenient? Why is this nice? If you're someone who plays a lot, yes, you can say respec every time, but it costs money every time to respec. It costs 2 gold and 91 silver pieces for me being level 100 and 36 copper. It's kind of a lot of money, all right? That adds up, especially if you're respecking like, you know, twice a day or something. That's gonna add up. You know, you might have done an instance and only made 5 gold running it 2 times, right, or something. So this is really nice to have 2 of these, okay, to kind of switch between your 2 stances. Again, this is my more tanky stance for me as a guardian, and this is my high DPS 2-hander stance for doing damage, okay, as a guardian. Now, if you're a healing class like a minstrel, you're going to probably have your healing one set up, and you're going to have your DPS one set up. There is a third one, which is nice. Off the top of my head right now, I'm trying to remember if you start with this second one. I do not believe you do, and or if you might get it as a VIP. I'm sorry, I don't have that for this guide video right off the top of my head. That is a challenging one. I'm sure we can look it up on the wiki there. So I might do a little link down there in the description for you if I can find it. You can double check for yourself. But I'm pretty sure you have to buy it. And once you buy it, it is for all your characters on that account. They all get 2, or at least that world, that server, from what I know. But it's very nice. It's really nice for traits. So make sure you think about getting it if you play a lot, because it's going to really help you out. And a lot of people don't realize these 2 buttons, that's what they're for. So basically, again, you spec one, and then when you switch, it'll have nothing on the second one, and then spec the second one how you want to have the second one spec'd. And it does also switch up, of course, your abilities, because every spec tree gives you certain abilities. So that's going to change down there at the bottom. So if you notice, there will be a change in your... by the way, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but there's this little thing down here you can click to kind of phase through defense and attack, and it's kind of a cool little thing. I always just use the same one. Maybe I'm being a little lazy about it, but if I click this top one again, watch my skills at the bottom, they do change if you notice. All right, and the defensive one pretty much stayed the same, but you could set up a separate one as a defensive one if you wanted to ahead of time. So for example, now that I have defensive skills, let me just I'll just show you this as an example real quick. I can go into my skills here. I can go into ones that are only in this, this is the DPS tree actually right now we're in. I need to flip it back to the other tree, so let me just flip it back here. There's a little cooldown in between. It's so people can't just switch to switch. It would probably blow up the system doing all that information every 5 seconds. So we're going to go to the defensive tree here, and things that are only in the defensive tree, which is like Guardians Smash, Shield Taunt, these are all things. If you notice, some of them will have a little like effect. See the smashing stab, see how it's got this little like, I don't know if you can see it. I wish I could zoom in a little more here for you, but if you notice, it has that little like star, not on this, but actually the actual skill tab. I'll bring it close so I can point at it here. Okay, this is good, so you don't get confused. Right there. You see that skill right there? See how it has the little tiny like explosion thing in the corner? If I respec, this will disappear out of the skills again because it's only in the defensive tree. So I'm gonna drop it here and pretend it's there, okay? So now what I can do, all right, what I can do with the switching here is I can switch to 1, and you'll notice that'll disappear off that. And anything that, like this hammer ability, notice the hammer's ability now has the little star there, but if I click it, that little star goes away in the corner. Did you notice that? So it's basically just telling me, oh, you respec, now you can use this from this tree. And if you noticed here, look what else changed, right? The defensive one. But now if I go back to the attack one, there it is. It's all normal again. So you can have a defense and attack one set up there. They switch, so this thing memorizes the differences. So my point is, though, if you switch between it, the attack one and the defense one will change depending on whatever tree you're in here. So you can just set it up in the defense one while you're on one of these. So whichever one you clicked on is the one it's going to set it up for. So if you notice, they're not here. But if I switch back to the second one, look at that. That one's back. Oh, excuse me. And the defensive one is back. So it does switch things around sometimes on you. But yeah, those two are, that's kind of cool too, this little thing down here. A lot of people don't know this is here. Again, it's way down there, that little tiny arrow. You can go between this sword and this defense one, and they're basically just more options you can have to go through and use your bar things, okay? Some of them will change, some of them won't. It even changes some of my, let me just go away for a second here. If you notice here on the right there, see how it like switches that one other bar too? So that's kind of cool. And then this one is designed for your horse, okay? This one's designed for your war mount. That's why if you notice the whole bar at the bottom changes and stuff. So then it's kind of cool. So they have just an attack one. It's pretty much, I almost never use these personally myself, but if you're someone who really likes to organize like really in depth for your character, or you're playing a character that just has so many skills, it's another nice way you can like have multiple things to switch between. And there is a command you can put on the keyboard. You can look in the settings. I don't know it off the top of my head because I don't use it, but that's a cool thing to let you guys know for more hardcore people who want to use that personally. I usually just like to move around my things. I have a whole video on my UI settings if you want to see what I do to make things very simple. But again, remember this little trait panel, and again, things will change on both the attack symbol one down there, that little tiny thing by the lion symbol, that little sword, and then compared to the PvP, or compared to the war mount and the defensive one. But I just always leave it on the sword one and use my thing to remember and switch between with the trait panel. So there we go. Hopefully that helps you, a little hint for new players about that, because it's kind of a like, it's not really told to you at all, really, in any way. So hopefully as your guide and host, that helped you out a little bit. Please leave comments if you're confused on something. I will answer it. And Baruch Kazak Kuzade menu. You want more on traits in general? I think I have 2 videos on traits on the same playlist, so you can go check those out as well, my friends. Have a great day in Middle-earth. Thanks to my Patreon, subscribe buttons there, and next episode's up there, and LOTRO Tales over there. Stay happy, my friends. See ya.